Hey, bona fides, in YouTube otherwise. It's me, cemented, and I'm bad. I'm back with another video, and if you're in here, you're good to go. Good morning, good Sunday morning, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope y'all are having a beautiful Sunday morning and I've had a great week before and it's starting this new week out right. Good morning, good morning. Hey, Clyde. Hey, Ocean Breeze. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? I haven't been on in a while, especially on this channel because I'm going a different vibe. Thank you, Clyde. I'm going a different vibe, like I've said before. Like this is going to be the more professional, the more um I guess like the channel with the segments, the official segments and stuff like this, like Sunday Soliloquy, that we get into the habits of and stuff like that. This to be more of the channel about me and my life and what I'm learning and things like that. Um, like it's always been. And I just am taking out any hardcore celebrity stuff or any beef sector stuff and putting it on properly live, just in case y'all weren't weren't following. And I messed up this morning going over to properly live to start this up. I was like, wait a minute. That's not a properly live segment. So I had to come back over here. So if I confuse anybody, I'm sorry about that. Charge it to my head, not my heart, okay? Well, I'm coming in today because there's a lot of things that have been going on this week. And this is my segment where I talk about the week and things I learned and things I've been thinking. Last Saturday on the 26th of November, my nephew died. This is my nephew, um, Harrison, who is my only nephew. Really, he's my only niece nephew, like, possibility. Like, it's me and my sister. I have one child, she has one child. Now, I do have a brother, and he has a child, but I don't know that baby like that. I met her one time, and that was 3 years ago. Um, so she don't know me at all. And not because any drama, not with my brother, just because time and situations and not living in the same state, like living states away. Um, that just did not happen, unfortunately. Um, but as far as my nephew, this is my blood nephew, my sister's son. His name was Harrison, and he passed last Saturday on the 26th of November. And he passed from an acute asthma attack. Everybody in our family except me and my dad has asthma. Both the kids do. My mom and my sister have asthma. And he's been maintaining it and working with it and taking his treatments and his inhalers and stuff like that for all his life. Thank you. And this Saturday, early in the morning, he started rustling with it and trying to, treat himself. He went to work. They said when we called up there afterwards that he showed no sign um, of having any issues. Where he had 2 weeks prior had an asthma attack up there, but was able to bring it back down and treat it. But on that day, last Saturday, they didn't see any of those in him going through any of that. And so He came home, took out the trash, and came back in struggling to breathe. And I think he just got very, very anxious in addition to um, his girlfriend been in the house. I think his girlfriend and her cousin, I think they all were very anxious by it. And I think it got out of hand. Like, you know, just out of hand. If you going through something that would make you be anxious, and even if you are a pro at that time, like getting through them, and then you got someone anxious around and stuff, and trying to, you need to call. I don't know. I'm not going to get too much detail. I'm not blaming the girl. I'm just saying, even his aunt there, who's an EMT, has seen him have an asthma attack before, and she said, it's a high anxiety moment for both the person, depending on how bad the attack is, the person, the people around him, and because I'm trained at this, I talked them through it, and very calm and but to young kids in the house while someone's having an asthma attack, a serious asthma attack. And let me say that, let me take that away because there's a level of asthma that people think is not that. I think to a level, people think that asthma is not that deadly. And it most definitely is. Yes, it can be treated on the spot and you can see a person physically get well. But asthma is whether or not you can breathe. Asthma deals with whether or not you can breathe. Yeah. Um, Asthma deals on whether or not you can breathe. And we know that breathing is part of living. And asthma just should not be taken lightly at all. Um, my sister had asthma her entire life. And we grew up with her in and out the hospital. It can quickly get way too far. Those on the spot treatments, the nebulizer and the inhaler cannot provide adequate treatment. And you need to go to the hospital. And even in the hospital, you can still pass away. My sister's been in the hospitalized so many times growing up. Not as an adult, but growing up. Thank you. Thank you both. And I don't know. When I tell people, like I was talking to this lady in the store yesterday, that he passed of asthma, their eyes are bucking like asthma. And I'm looking at folks like, what? And I try not to look at them like, is you crazy? Because I think the only reason I think I may be like that too if I wouldn't have grew up with asthmatics. If I didn't raise an asthmatic. My baby's asthmatic too. And I'm trying to reserve judgment because sometimes when you haven't been around stuff, you don't know much about it. But I'm here to tell everybody within the sound of my voice today, asthma is very, very serious. And so she was on CPR on him with the 911. She said she felt like she was able to. She felt like she had him, and he was still with us. And when the EMT came and they put her out the room, they worked on him, and we ended up getting the full work, like what happened and what they did to him. And his auntie, excuse me, who's the EMT, um, was satisfied that they did the right protocol. At first, she wasn't, based on what the girl was saying. But when we got the detective's report, um, we were satisfied with that, and so my baby passed away last week, and I'm trying to accept it because he had just turned 19 on in September. He just turned 19 years old. Just got out of school last year, 2021. People think it's not that bad because it's not a health problem that gets a lot of awareness. I think so too. Good morning, Demetrius. Good morning, babe. Sorry to hear about your loss. Condolences. Asthma issues. My brother finally outgrew it after being diagnosed as a baby. Very bad wheezing and labored breathing. Yes, indeed. And just the way she described him passing is another thing that bothers us. So he really struggled. And they worked on him for 26 minutes. Thank you. Oh no. Mm-hmm. I named him Harrison in the hospital. I've told y'all this before. If you know anything, me and my sister, we don't jail. Okay. I've always said that. Me and my sister have always had a problem keeping that gel, keeping that glue together in our relationship. Okay. We having our mouth on each other all the time. And we be, beefing. And it was no different the day he was born. We probably wasn't beefing, but the blood was already still there. And I walked in, and when I walked in, I seen him, his big yellow self. I was so outdone that he was yellow. You know me, I was like, I was like, nah, he gonna get darker because my baby had got darker, right? I was like, he gonna get darker, he gonna get darker. Took a long time, but yeah, it took years. But anyway, I said, oh shucks, he yellow, big old head, big old body, Chinese eyes, just like his mama. Excuse me, Asian presenting eyes. Let me not say that, child. Okay, and thank you, thank you, Carol. Yeah, had them Asian presenting eyes and mean. Ooh, when he was little, when he was a baby, just ornery and be squinting his eyes even more. Like, what else can I do to tear up stuff? Anyway, so I was. That was my buddy though. Uh, and I walked in there and we was talking. She was like, "I'm gonna name him Whoop De Whoop because it matched her name, kinda. It was the male version of her name." I like that's a punk name. I don't like that name. Like, mm-mm. I had already had designs. Girl, I would design a baby, a kid, and a kid's life for you real quick, okay? And I had already had designs on this little boy. I was so happy because, I wanted a boy, but I had my girl. And then she had a boy. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. Now I ain't got to have no boy because I'm going to help. He going to be like my son. He's going to be my nephew, but he going to be like my son. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what the plans were. So, in thinking about my nephew and how what traits I wanted my nephew to have, I wanted him to be brave. I wanted him to be smart. I mean, intelligent. I wanted him to be cunning. I wanted him to have grit and wit and be adventurous. So I was like, I had already started thinking of names. And although I wasn't a Harrison Ford, like I wasn't the actor's fan, I loved a lot of his key characters like Luke Skywalker and Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones used to be my guy back in the day. I loved that. And I don't want him to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? And so I said, well, we're not going to call him Luke Skywalker, okay? Or Indiana Jones. So let's call him Harrison. I like that. It's strong. It's long enough. It's got enough syllables and uh, consonants. What's a consonant? Hold up. Let me look. No, I can't look it up right now because I'm on the phone. But you know, what's a vowel? Okay, what's the opposite of a vowel? A consonant? Somebody tell me. Thank you, William. Is that a consonant? It had enough consonants. Okay. It seems strong and powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's consonants. Okay, thank you. And she said, okay, we'll name him Harrison. And I was so surprised. And so he was Harrison. And honey, Harrison was wit, grit, wish a ninja would for several years early. and Harrison loved his cousin Brooklyn. Whatever Brooklyn said, he did. If Brooklyn said we doing this, he did it. If Brooklyn walked this way, he was right behind me. They was buddies, big buddies. Oh, okay. Thank you, Clyde. Big buddies, honey. Big buddies. I'm talking about when the drama going on, as far as somebody need to get in trouble, honey, they not telling. Brooklyn only told one time, and that was because Harrison had took some money from me. And he was like 5 and took some money off the table. And Brooklyn saw how distraught I was looking for that money. And she went in there and told me because she didn't want her mama thinking she was crazy. Girl. And you know how I am about kids, honey. I'm going to get in kids' tails when they need their tail got into. So, he knew his auntie didn't play with him. He knew his mama didn't play with him. I'm going to tell you that for real. Okay. But he knew his auntie didn't play. So, I might have had to touch him up a couple of times, but that was my buddy. I love me some Harrison. And, yeah. And, again, he was, well, again, relationships abounded and caused me to have years to not be able to see Harrison. And I missed a lot of my baby's life when I'm getting these pictures in. I'm like, oh my gosh. Girl, he was in Cub Scouts. I mean, we knew this as we was going. We just didn't get to spend a lot of time with him. Girl, I would, but see, I was in Dallas. Never mind, they was in Oklahoma City. But girl, I would have had a way for every summer he'd be, you know what I'm saying, down there with us doing. Girl, I don't want to get in that part, but and he ended up moving with his dad in middle school, up in Detroit, and messed around and kind of lost contact with him for like a year maybe when he moved up there because I think it's not maybe it's number two. I don't know what it was, but then we got back in the groove and talking and trying to keep up with each other a couple times a year here and there and stuff like that because when these kids get to be a teenager and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna say he didn't know me, but he ain't spent a lot of time with me. And in his life, it's hard to get a a grounded relationship together. You know what I'm saying? But we did. And that was my buddy, y'all. We did. We managed it. I mean, I'm looking through all our text messages and stuff like that. And we would call and he'd tell me about different things. And, by this time you could do FaceTime or Duo or WhatsApp and stuff like that. So we would have that kind of conversation and bond and whatnot. You and Brooklyn continue to talk about Harrison. Keep his memory alive. We will share great memories, laugh, and smile when remembering him. Keep him involved in all future life events. I definitely will. Yes, he is. I was about to get to that part. And so it came to where I had got to know his dad enough. And I felt like he trusted me enough. You know what I'm saying? Because his dad don't know me. He ain't never seen me in his life to this day. The first time we'll see him is at the funeral. And so he made me promise to return his son. Don't get my son down there and try to keep him. I said, I won't, even though I wanted to so bad. And a couple years ago, I don't know if y'all remember how excited I was for my baby to come see me. And good morning. And he came, y'all. He was here for 2 whole weeks and we had a blast. We had a blast. That's the time when we got into that whitewater rafting accident and they had to uh, remove us out of the they try to remove Brooklyn and her friend out of the water when we had the accident and the friend was all bloodied and tore up, but we ended up having to put everybody back in the boats and keep on going down the river. Ooh, that was an adventure. But yeah, my baby came and we had a good old time. He got to see his geeky, that's my mama, his other aunts, great aunts and everything, and cousins, and woo, we had a good old time and I was just so happy for him to be here. And thank you. And I'm so happy because unless my sister has some, hard copy pictures, I don't have no pictures with him until that visit. And when he was born, I lived in Dallas. So it wasn't like we all lived down the street or in the same town in Oklahoma and I got to see him all the time. Brooklyn saw him way more than me because me and my parents would meet halfway when Brooklyn would go up there in the summer or on weekends and stuff like that. I mean, when I did see him, I cherished him. And even after he came, we kept in touch real good. I think that was a good bond right there. That was real good to be even keep in touch better. And the last text message a couple weeks before he passed, I didn't call him on Thanksgiving. I really am upset about that. Was like a week or two before Thanksgiving, I said, what you doing for Christmas? Cause I was gonna send for him again. And he said, my girlfriend wants me to stay here. My girlfriend wants me to stay here for Christmas to be with her family. And I was like, oh, in my head, I remember feeling like that. And then I said, oh, that sounds beautiful. Don't be a stranger, love. And he said, okay. And now I'll never see him again. You know, I'll never see him again. And that really hurts me because, um, like I said, he just turned 19. He was living with him and his girlfriend and working and going to school. So now ain't nobody gonna keep me from him. At this point, I'm thinking now, you know, he made his own decisions when he gonna come see his TT. and how long and if he want to stay. I was planning on working on him staying, y'all, and going to school here with Brooklyn. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Let's look at Harrison. Look at my boo. No, he knew his TT loved him. You can't be sure of that. TT was there for a lot of stuff. Not physically. I ain't never been up there where you living at. I had my hand in all that school stuff. And supporting him and his different things he had going on. My baby was a day trader and a hard worker. I remember when I found out he had moved out with his girlfriend. I said, "What? I got right off the phone with whoever told me first and called him right on up. Excuse me, sir, what's going on?" I've been talking to you. You ain't said you was moved out nowhere. And why are you moving out at 18 years old? And now you nervous talking about you need to make some more money so you can pay the bills. You can take your butt home, is what I said. Take your tail right on to the house, is what I said. Go back home and you're rent free, okay? And you need to be watching out for debt and collecting a whole bunch of debt, young. I'm the type of TT like that, okay? uh-uh. Corrective TT. We ain't going for this. And he listened like he always did. Always mannerable, always respectful. And he said, it's time for me to be a man. His name fits, so I think so too. Thank you. Thank you and thank you. And he said, TT, it's time for me to be a man. And I wanted to move out with me and my girlfriend. Um, I guess the little girl wasn't doing good at home and stuff like that with her mom. And I told her I'm gonna take care of her, so that's what I'm gonna do. But you know us and you know women. Take care of her, child. She better learn to take herself. I took care of myself, And he just listened. He wasn't the kind of kid that sucked their mouth in and sculpted and all that shit when you were saying something opposite. Harrison didn't do that at all. I don't know what he did to his daddy and them, but to me, he didn't do it. And he was just like, and he was serious and steadfast in the fact that it's time for him to man up and make his own stake in the world, his own claim in the world. This is his words. And so he went on. Just cherish all the good memories and the joy he brought to you and the family. I will. Bonafide, good morning. I'm so sorry for your loss. My condolences to you and your family. It's hard and not easy, but try and hang in there. I am. And so so that's where he was at when he passed. Staking his own claim in life. doing it his way. And that's one thing my mom said. She said one thing about Harrison is you could tell him, and he was not, Harrison wasn't bad at all. He Harrison was his own man, always has been his own man. He bought two cars on his own without nobody knowing. Flew places without nobody knowing, which is some other shit that, girl, I don't know. I don't understand that because see, Brooklyn 21 years old, and I know every time, not gonna say every, I know 90% of every turn she takes. Okay, and I know Brooklyn ain't getting on no plane without letting me know. But he flew down here to Atlanta. Not he flew down here to Atlanta to just to have like 2 days of what is it called? What's it called? New Year's. And I don't know when he bought the ticket. I don't know if he was coming down here to surprise me or whatever. But he called me like right when we got home from Vegas and asked me about my Vegas trip last year. And I said, I'm sick with COVID. Remember I had COVID after Vegas. And I almost feel like, and so when we found out that he came down here, didn't nobody know. And, we felt some kind of way about like, what the hell was going on? Um, I called him up and I said, okay, nigga, let me tell you something. Don't you never come nowhere without letting somebody know. But don't you ever step foot nowhere in Georgia without letting me know. Okay? Because I want to go come see you. And so he was like, TT, he was like, I had called you a couple days before and you had COVID. I said, yeah, but you didn't say you was coming. He was like, well, at that point, I didn't want to bother you. I was like, Negro, it's a whole other room down at the bottom with a bathroom, the door in and out, in the kitchen. You could have been right down there because I stayed in my room the entire time. Yeah. So he did his thing. He did things on his own terms, period, and didn't bother nobody else about it. He wasn't calling you, ask you for no money. I'm hungry. Can you send me some money to eat? Like these sorry ass kids and stuff. Now mine don't do that, but I've seen it a lot. Okay. Now they got all the money for blunts. They got all the money to go on Uber, go here and there and stuff like that. Oh, can I have some money to eat? Oh, my car got you know what I'm saying? Harrison asked nobody for no cotton picking money. You asked Harrison for money, not me. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Because he was so enterprising. And just like his TT. Just like his TT. We were so much alike. The intelligence, the wit. He's nicer. He was nicer than me though. I get on some other stuff. No, he's very nice. And the enterprising nature. Girl, I used to have money in all my pockets in my clothes. I told y'all that before. And my mom was the type that summer clothes went up in the winter, put up, and uh, winter clothes went put up in the summer. And she'd get up in my pockets and stuff like that. She was like, God, dog, all this money, let me hold $50. Let me hold 100. I'm like, God, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl. And that's how Harrison was. And mama said it right. He was his own man. That's such. And so I don't know if y'all ever heard that Frank Sinatra song called My Way. And I ain't talking about no Usher. And Usher didn't sing for not didn't remake Frank Sinatra song. I'm talking about My Way. Here, I'm gonna play it because I'm not gonna. Oh, freak! This ain't even the computer. Hold on one second. Have any of y'all heard that song? Oh, looking like Baby Huey today. I tried to go on the starvation diet before we went up there. And I know he'd be laughing too because I was always talking about losing weight. He'd be giving me pointers and stuff on what to do, what exercises to do. Because he knew his TT always was dealing with some weight, okay? Child, the mama and daddy don't get no credit. He was just like his TT. He was just like me. He was just like me. Shit. Yeah, just like his TT. And shoot, they shoot. Well, the daddy don't really know, but my sister tell you that too if you catch her on the right day. I mean, she had a lot of she instilled a lot of his integrity and stuff like that too. But I had mine instilled too. So he just like his Gigi. I mean his TT. So this is part of the obituary. I'm not gonna read his business because I don't need nobody all in that. But let me read this part. To be heralded as good people as a teenager is a testimony of one's inner character and how it positively impacts those who come into contact with them. With a bright but humble smile and that infectious giggle snicker, Harrison touched young and old. He led with a desire to help those that he could and made it his goal to be a friend on every occasion. Many called him the gentle giant due to his impressive stature, and others did so because they realized he was on a quest to learn more, see more, do more, and be more. It was evident that Harrison was a man of his own making. So that's the beginning of his obituary. So then another part, and part of what I'll be saying is I'm going to read the first stanza of My Way by Frank Sinatra. Sinatra says, and now the end is near. And so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway. And more, much more than this, I did it my way. That's the first stanza, but the whole song is applicable to my baby. And it's so, so, so true. Mannerably, respectfully, I'm gonna go do A, even though you want me to do B. And honestly, when we were talking about it and laughing, it never brought no drama to nobody, to nobody else, or to himself, really. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be able to dox him. But it's several reasons why that should not happen. But um, I'm I wrote it. I wrote the whole program. Hold on, I'll get into all that in a minute. But I just this whole ordeal just so many lessons I'm learning. Like, okay, so I'm the point person for the funeral. I'm the coordinator of all of it. I'm working with his grandma on that side and my dad as far as, some of the ceremony type stuff because they're church. They're very, very church. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. So, what was I gonna say? So it's been real. I've never been a funeral coordinator. I've never been the point person for the ordering, for the organizing of who paying, what's paying, how much, all the words, all the pictures, uh, uh, vetting who's doing what, who we're gonna request services from for the booklet, for the spray, for the that. I've never been that girl. I just go to funerals, okay? We This has been a thing. I was surprised she even wanted me to be in it. Like she's been very whatever I said, she ain't had nothing to do with this at all, my sister. And I was really surprised that she allowed me to be the point person because like I said, me and her don't, we ain't talked in almost 3 years till this. So I'm grateful that she allowed me to help her, especially while she's mourning. Um, as being his mother, you know what I'm saying? So, but babe, when I tell you, ooh wee, have any of y'all ever been the point person for a funeral? Girl, one day I felt like I had blacked out and came back real quick. I think that was like Tuesday. I was so stressed. Had so much, and I was like, oh, I was trying to think. I still was working too. So I took off Thursday and Friday, but I came back Friday because I needed to get something done, and that was fine because at that point most everything I need to do in regards to the funeral was done. Are y'all still there? So I was like, well, you know, I'm honored that she could trust me to make sure her baby's services were put together correctly. She really was into cremation, bring them home, period. But um, we are having a funeral, and then he'll be cremated. But he's gonna be buried in a blue suit. They were talking about a suit. I was like, I wanted to put him in a really nice sweater. But since he's getting cremated, I guess it don't matter because they're gonna take all that off anyway. But I would have loved for it to be like a very, very nice sweater. Like a nice material sweater. Are y'all still there? Hello? Because I know I went in and out. Anyway, it don't matter. I want to say what I gotta say. And so, oh wow. Okay, can y'all hear me right now? Because now I see where y'all text. Okay, yeah, StreamYard then started acting stupid. Let me see if I can get on StreamYard on my other computer. Because I see where y'all saying yes, 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 yes. When I went to YouTube on my phone real quick, but hold on. I guess she had to go to work and left you up in here. I guess Brooklyn had work. Oh, I hate that my feet are messed up. I found out I got plantar fasciitis. Hold on. Facalitis or whatever it is. Fuckalika. Chica, chica, chica. Hold on. Hold on. Let me put all my stuff away. Get out of my business. Okay. No camera slips over here. No. Okay. Hold on one second. I guess Brooklyn at work, child. I done went in there talking to Brooklyn. She at work, child. Who I gotta pee? Ain't that easy, yeah. You got your hair done. I think I'm gonna just go get some braids, child. My mom told me to get the wig. I don't know about that. Put my wig on. I'm gonna go in there later on and talk to y'all on the B Sector channel later on, and I'm gonna try to get that wig together. If it don't get all the way together, because baby, who's not going to Detroit looking crazy is me. Okay. I don't know. Hold on, let me get. Hold on, y'all. I'm coming. Y'all keep commenting. See, when I went out, it started tripping in the studio. What? Oh, I gotta pee. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to take a 30. Hold on once. Ooh, girl, let me stop the camera. No, God. Hold on. No, no, no. Ooh, look at everybody here. Hold on one second. Hold on, y'all. I gotta enter it correctly. I see now that I got in on the second one, I can see everybody's comments. Ooh, girl, look at my face. Oh gosh, I cannot. Hold on. Hold on, let me add another picture. Because I only can do it on my phone because my picture's on my phone. Hold on, y'all. Thank y'all for holding. He would have been like, oh, no, no, the broadcast. Like, bruh, yeah, the broadcast. Okay, now I can end this one right here. Hold on. Now we.